So welcome back to the Profitable Franchisees podcast. My name is Tracey Leak and I am your host. This podcast is specifically for franchisees to help them with strategies and stories to help them to be more profitable. And today we've got Evan Gill here from Kwik Kopy. And what I love most when I get to bring in an expert to talk about some strategies, that they're also a franchisee. So it really helps them. We're going to ask a franchisee question at the end, Evan, but we'll start with what we're talking about today, which is about, that old school marketing and how it's working again, using physical marketing rather than just thinking digital. Local area marketing is so important for franchisees to grow and build their business. But often what stops people is they think that they've just got to do digital marketing and they get very nervous about that. Whereas what we're seeing now is that physical marketing is working again in this very digital world. So why do you think that physical marketing is working again? What are the trends that you guys are seeing at Kwik Kopy?
Okay, I think a big part of it is COVID. Everyone was forced into digital, forced online. They lost that physical connection. So they're now wanting that physical touch again. So people are reading their junk mail brochures again. They're picking up flyers. Business cards are growing again. Like there was a time there where people just were going, we don't need business cards anymore. We can just send it from our phone. But they're now back to using business cards.
I mean, you think about it, just everybody listening, just think about the last time you actually got a letter in the mail. Like I went to my mailbox the other day. I can't remember the last time I actually took something out of my mailbox. And that's even including a flyer or anything. Nothing. And it's got to be a couple of weeks. I haven't received anything. So, if you're going to try and cut through, and that's what marketing is all about, is how can you get in front of people doing that. So what are you seeing clients are using that's successful? Or what are you looking at that people are getting you to do that you go, wow, this is really good marketing?
One of our customers is a large hardware chain. And we do all of their catalogues that they actually use as in-store catalogues. We ship those Australia-wide to all of their centres. That's working quite well for them. We've just been told that numbers are about to start increasing of what they're using through us. Got another company that we did some mailer boxes for. They provided us with some branded beer cans and coffee beans. And we had to pack a box of the beer cans and a box of the coffee beans for 150 different locations. And I think we got about 20 boxes in total back for a person not at that address anymore and the like. And I have heard that they have had some quite good results from it, people reaching out to them, because this was just a big drop. It wasn't to existing clients. It was purely a marketing activity to try and get to new clients.
I think
and that's worked quite well for them.
It's interesting what you're talking about, because I think a lot of times people think print marketing is kind of boring, like you're just sending out just like a random flyer, but you've immediately given us two examples of things that are, one is, I mean, not everybody's going to be able to send beer, but it's a good idea to send out a physical product or a sampler or something out to people to actually get them. Is there any other sorts of things that you've seen people send out or use?
There certainly is, but that company that sent the beer and coffee isn't even what they sell.
Oh, really?
So it was purely a marketing. Yeah. It was purely, these are things that will interest people. So that's what they used. We ourselves use little rolls of branded lollies.
Okay.
That we use in our local area. If I'm out cold calling or PR repping, I walk in with a flyer, the lollies, because how many people are going to say no to lollies? So it gets that conversation started.
Called an ethical bribe
Um,
to get people to talk to you.
it is.
It's funny because I didn't tell the story of how
breaking down that wall.
Absolutely. I didn't tell the story of how we actually met. Was actually at a franchise council. It was at the Christmas party a week or two ago. And I was sitting next to Johnny, who's the CEO of Battery World, and you were on our table and they were doing a lucky draw. And we said to you as a joke, they were doing the business card draw where everybody puts their business card in the barrel and draws out and you win some wine and all that sort of stuff. And we said to Evan as a joke, hey, what sort of business card should we get to make it more applicable for, make it easier for our card to be drawn out of the barrel? And immediately you handed over a business card to us and showed us one that, was a bit more tactile. So how do we turn, what are some of the ideas for turning what I would consider, a business card is pretty boring. A letterbox drop is pretty boring on the outside. How can you turn your print marking into something that, one, you can be proud of, but two, also captures the attention of people? What are some of the things that we can do?
Well, for business cards, for example, embellishments are very important, like the raised text that was on my business card. Also, different types of cell glaze. You can get a gloss, a matte, or even a velvet touch. The velvet touch is extremely smooth. Everyone that picks up a velvet touch business card loves the feel of it. We've also had customers that have wanted specially shaped business cards. So I have seen business cards in the shape of a car. So it stands out. And that's often one of the easiest ways with business cards. With brochures and catalogues, sometimes using a slightly different size to the standard dimensions. Standard dimensions often work best from a price point of getting them manufactured, but the unusual sizes will often stand out because it's not what people are expecting.
So what other sorts of things do you see people use, to go out to brand new prospects? So we've sort of said, we can do a letterbox drop, a business card. I want to feel this velvet touch business card now, because you imagine like networking is a great strategy. Local area marketing is to go out and meet people and going networking. And having a business card, people don't do business with a business card, but something that they remember and go, oh, I like that. It changes their opinion of you. And is it really that much more expensive? I'm like the cut through for that would be amazing, but is it really more?
No, it's not that much more. In fact, the different types of cellar glaze are the same price. A lot of people generally stick to the gloss and matte or silk because that's what they're used to. But the velvet touch is definitely a lot smoother. And depending on the company that's after it, some companies like if you're marketing yourself as a budget company, a budget business card is better suited to you. But if you're marketing yourself as a premium product, you don't want to give a little flimsy piece of paper as your business card. So that's the big thing with business cards. Some of the other items that I've used, I actually used it quite recently at a conference I was at down on the Gold Coast. I had a stand there and we had little aluminium bottles of still water. So once again, promo products are quite large. A lot of people are going into that because that's another way that print and local area marketing. I went to a golf day with my local BNI group recently, and quite a few people in the BNI group came to me and went, what promo products can we put in the gift bag that's for it? So we had golf tags, tees, ball markers, there was hats, all of that sort of thing. Comes under local area marketing because networking is part of your local area marketing. So it really is the sky's the limit what you can and can't do. It's up to the imagination.
And I think the thing to remember is as you said, rightly so, we went so digital during COVID that these things that people that really, I started coaching 20 years ago before, Facebook or YouTube or anything was even invented, that these were things that we regularly did. But because we had that break, COVID was great for physical marketing because it's got people thinking again, because people want that personal touch. They want to actually connect with people. And so by thinking about that with your marketing to actually allow that connection, And that's why, things like those promo products are working. Let's think about, what a lot of people I think forget about in marketing, in the local area marketing, is what I would call in-store marketing. That there's a lot of secondary marketing that goes on and they miss it. Like, I had a client recently who they've got, a couple of services, but they've got one service that they're selling heaps of, and they're trying to get their customers, their existing customers, to buy another service. And I said, well, why don't you just get flyers? They've got a little waiting area. I said, why don't you get flyers just promoting how that second service ties in with the first service, so that when people are sitting there, they've got something to read. What sort of things do you see people are using when we talk about that in-store sort of marketing?
Yeah, certainly. As you said, flyers are a big one, but also posters, quite popular. Media walls, like what I've got behind me, pull-up banners, even window decals and signage like that. It all works. It all gets people's eyes, and they will look at it. In an environment like you just described, the best thing is to have the material for the other business there for all their customers to see every time they come in, and keep it consistent, that they keep seeing it, because consistency is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And even again, some of those promotional items are good little things to give to people. I always think like postcards is a great one, or giving something when they're leaving. Like if they're a first time customer, why not give them something or even, as you said, like catalogs. I mean, how often is it now we all think we shop online, but people love to read a catalogue?
Yeah, because the catalogue can sit there and they can go back to it when they're ready to. You click on a website, see something you like, there's no guarantee you're going to see that same ad next time you go back. I actually had it the other day. I was on Facebook. I've been seeing an ad on Facebook for a week, and I went, I'm interested in that. Went in to try and find it. Couldn't remember the company because you're just scrolling, so you push it past. But I remembered what the product was, couldn't remember who was selling it. Do you think the ad popped up for me when I wanted it? No. Whereas a catalogue, someone can have it sitting there and come back to it weeks, depending on what the catalogue is, sometimes even months or even years later, and then go, okay, I'm ready to use this. And I've heard stories of people, doing that.
I've got a client, like a franchise group, and they do letterbox drops. And we were talking about it one time at conference, and we worked out on average it's about 6 months people will hold it. But there was franchisees who'd had people who'd held a flyer, a letterbox drop flyer for 2 years to ring that person. It's amazing, in this world of digital where it's intangible, sending something physical where people can touch and feel, it makes your business tangible. It makes it easier for them to want to work with you. So when we think about it, you're an expert in print. You understand this. And what I find a lot of franchisees do is they're trying to reduce their marketing spend. Now, first up, it shouldn't be called a marketing spend. It's a marketing investment. You're looking to get a return on investment. As we said, like if you've got a premium service, getting like the Velvet business card, which I'm now fascinated with, that would be a good extra investment. There's times and places to increase your spend. But if we're going down that print route, what are some hints and tips on things that we should definitely not cut costs on, and things where, you could sort of, negotiate a little bit on your price, things that don't matter as much? Is it about the paper stock, or you said even the sizing? What are the sort of things that we can do to maximize our print marketing from a investment point of view?
Yeah, so first up, things to not skimp on is your graphic design and quality of the stock, if you're wanting that premium appearance to your brand. I've even got a lawn mowing business. It's one of the BNI members. It's his son has started a lawn mowing business, but he's not getting his flyers on 80 GSM bond stock. He's getting it on a 150 GSM gloss because it's a premium product. He's wanting his customers to think that he is going to look after them. So he's not just doing it on the cheap. But then there's other circumstances where does the customer need a gloss stock? They couldn't possibly go to a bond or your standard paper style stocks. It very much depends on the purpose of what it's being used for. We do try and advise people where they can and can't save money on a job. We definitely don't see the point in selling someone the most expensive item just to get a sale. We'd prefer to sell them what is best for them. And we advise the same way. If a customer comes in needing something and they tell us a way, but they're thinking of doing it, and we go, well, you could do it this way, slightly cheaper. So finding a printer that will actually help you and look after you, and not just go for the higher price, but advise you where your money is best spent, because it does very much depend on the job where you can and can't scrimp. Another one is your graphic design. Using good quality graphic design will also get the best results.
Yeah, because if
I see
if it's not giving the right message, then it's not going to work.
Yes, or if it's too busy and people can't actually read the messaging on it, it's pointless. So that's where good graphic design, like something could look good at first sight or look good on a computer screen, it doesn't always translate to a good printed product.
And I think remembering too, my little tip to put into that is my first ever franchising client 20 years ago, I remember she had a beauty salon and she tapped into the national marketing. They had a promotion every month of something they were doing. And she actually got all the material from head office and then took it to her printer. And she had a window decal done. She had a letterbox drop done. So she saved on the graphic design by getting it all, but she worked with her local printer to sort of say, what else can we do with this that I can use in my local area marketing? So she didn't have to come up with the idea. She didn't come up with the promotion. She didn't come up with the graphic design, but she had enough of the assets that her printer could take it. And he was the one who said, she said, I was going to do a window sign. And he said, well, why don't we just turn that into a flyer and you could use that as a letterbox drop? And that was her number one local area marketing strategy, was this window sign with the accompanying letterbox drop. She got huge business from
letterbox
that.
drops work quite well. We take part in regular letterbox drops that our head office organises, and we definitely get cut through with it. We have people comment that they received the flyer. Sometimes they don't even contact us about what the flyer was about, but it just reminded them that, hey, we're your local printer. And
you can use, how often do you see it where people come in, like, don't think that you've got to, invest everything straight up. You might test and measure something for a little while. Like, I'm sitting here looking at your sign behind you going, a pull-up banner is actually pretty cost effective, and to get one made up and to put up even in store or to use somewhere where you go and then go, hey, this is working for me, you could get multiples done. I have a client who's got about 6 different ones depending on what their promotion is. It's not just a generic one. They've got one for, they've got one for Christmas. They've got one for another time of year when they've got a promotion. Do you see clients, really niching down into their marketing and their print?
We had one client order 25 different pull-up banners.
Really? 25?
Yes. Different, like they were used for trade shows as well as day-to-day use. But they went pull-up banners because they're easy to transport, and then they can stand them up in store when needed, pack them up when it's no longer of importance, bring it back out when it is. So yeah, pull-up banners are very big, very popular because they are quite affordable and of a quality where people look at them and actually interact with them. QR codes on pull-up banners is a very popular thing I'm seeing at the moment, which is that good mix of your physical with your digital, because the QR code can connect them to.
You don't want to discount.
And I'm a strong believer that I'm a strong believer that digital marketing is still definitely relevant, but the two very much go hand in hand.
Absolutely. So tell me, put your franchisee hat on, okay? It doesn't have to be about local area marketing. It could be about anything. But what's been your key to success in business as you progress as a franchisee? Give us a couple of tips as a franchisee. What's been working for you?
Definitely the local marketing. I'm quite active. I attend a networking group every Friday morning at 6:30. I've got another network group that I meet twice a month, and so I've gotten some good traction with both of those. My cold calling, where I do actually walk down both sides of the street with flyers and lollies. Walk in, say hello. I always have a couple of extra packs of the lollies because if I see talking to a receptionist and then get led into someone else, the receptionist gets lollies as well as the person I'm trying to see. But I like to help people. I'm often told that it is something where some people do take advantage of me because I do like to help wherever I can. Prime example of that is this year we've helped numerous charities, which we've sponsored as a business. There's one Great Mate Check-In, which was a men's mental health cause. I drive a rally car in the Mystery Box Rally for Cancer Council. Trying to remember. We did a mental health walk for Urban Utilities. And the hard part's, I'd love to be able to say yes to all of them, but sometimes you got to say no.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we do like to help people. And if it's helping someone finding their best print solutions, it's still helping them grow. So I believe that's been a big part of our growth here at Eagle Farm. Also, my wife who owns the business with me, we trust ourselves to get out there and give it full effort and get the job done.
Absolutely. So we better find out how we can get in front of you, because I think, a great idea for everybody listening is if you go, I need to do some local area marketing, go see someone like Evan and they will probably have ideas for you. They go, I saw someone do this, because you're seeing lots of people doing different things, so you can give suggestions like the things of like, hey, change a different size. Hey, you could have a business card in the shape of a car. So how would we get in touch with you, Evan? You're at Kwik Kopy at Eagle Farm, which is in Brisbane, for those of you who don't know, but you can service a customer anywhere, right?
Yes, we can. If someone contacts us, we've got customers Australia-wide. So if someone reaches out to me, we can definitely help them. My main target area where I do the bulk of my marketing is around the Brisbane airport through to Morningside, Murray, Hemmant on the other side of the bridge. So around that area is our primary marketing area. There was a week recently, one day I was up on the Sunshine Coast, the next day I was on the Gold Coast. I've visited customers when I've been down in Sydney for different things. So I can definitely service Australia-wide. Easiest way to find us is quikkopy.com.au, and there's a search bar there for stores, and just find Eagle Farm. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and then I've also got my personal LinkedIn, which is linked to the business as well.
I'll put all your contact details in the show notes. So if you want to chat to Evan specifically at Kwik Kopy at Eagle Farm, then I'll have all the details down below. Thank you so much for joining us today, Evan. I think that there's some good little hints and tips in there. Couldn't speak for a second. Hints and tips in there so that, we can start to see. But I want everyone to remember, don't shy away from physical marketing. It's working again. And I love how you said that it ties together with digital marketing, that the two work together, because your marketing is a marketing mix. It's not just a marketing strategy. It's a number of things that you're doing to actually get the best result. So thanks for joining us. As a reminder to everyone, if you want to follow along with my newsletter, the Franchisee Profit Pulse, just head over to my website at traceyleak.com, and we look forward to seeing you again on the next episode. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Evan.